We often think of great leaders as the people with all the answers. But what if that's completely backwards? What if the most effective leaders aren't the ones with the answers, but the ones with the best questions? Today, we're going to explore a really fascinating leadership style that does just that. It's about leading by inquiry, not by command.
Okay, so let's just dive right in with a question for you. When you brainstorm, what happens in your head? Do you see pictures, like a little movie playing out? Or do you think more in concepts, in logic and connections? The way you answer that might just reveal a hidden leadership strength you never knew you had.
To really get that connection, we first have to explore something pretty fascinating. What it actually means to have a mind without pictures, a way of thinking that works entirely without that mental canvas that so many of us rely on.
Well, this trait has a name. It's called aphantasia. For people who have it, thinking just isn't a visual experience. So if I were to say to you, think of an apple, they would understand the concept of an apple, they know what it is, what it tastes like, but they just don't see an image of one in their mind. The screen is blank, so to speak.
This really highlights a massive difference in how we can process information. While a lot of us are visual thinkers, using those mental pictures to connect the dots, aphantastic thinkers just operate differently. Their strength, their superpower really, is in seeing pure information. They're incredible at recognizing patterns and building these logical frameworks, all without being influenced by a pre-existing mental image.
So keep that unique way of thinking in your back pocket for a second. Now let's switch gears from the individual mind to how a team works best. And let's introduce our second key idea for today, the art of the question.
The source material for this explainer uses this absolutely brilliant analogy. It says a Socratic manager doesn't invent or force their own ideas on people. Instead, they act as a midwife, helping their team give birth to their own brilliant solutions, just guiding and supporting them through that whole process.
This whole idea midwifery thing, it's achieved through what's called the Socratic Method. And in a management context, this is a total game changer. It means your job isn't to have all the answers. Your real job is to ask the questions that lead the team to find the best answers for themselves.
And at its heart, this method really comes down to two powerful moves. First, you probe the logic. You ask, is this proposal actually sound? Does this idea really hold up under pressure? And second, you test the very foundation of the discussion by challenging assumptions, asking, what are the hidden beliefs that we're all just taking for granted here?
So, this brings us right to the core aha moment. We've got this unique cognitive style on one hand, a mind without pictures, and this ancient method of inquiry on the other. What in the world happens when you put them together?
This is where our two concepts just click together perfectly. It turns out that the very nature of aphantastic thinking creates a kind of natural superpower for this exact style of leadership.
And this synergy is really the key takeaway. Think about it. A thinking style that's focused purely on logic is the perfect tool for a method that's designed to probe that very logic. But here's the deeper, cooler reason it works so well. Without a mind's eye, a leader isn't already attached to a preconceived picture of what the solution should be. That detachment makes it so much easier to question everything and just follow the logic wherever it leads, instead of trying to steer it towards some image you already have in your head.
Now, here's the crucial part. You do not need to have aphantasia to use this powerful leadership tool. Not at all. Anyone can adopt these principles. So let's break down how you can actually do it.
Here are two simple but incredibly effective questions you can put in your toolkit and start using tomorrow. To probe the logic, just ask the team, why do we believe this is the best approach? It forces everyone to defend the idea with solid reasoning. Then, to challenge assumptions, you ask, what if our core assumption here is just wrong? That question can open up entirely new ways of thinking.
And always remember, this is the fundamental shift. It's about moving from being the director who has the whole master plan figured out to being the guide who just has a compass. Your real role is to empower your team's critical thinking, which in the end makes both them and their ideas that much stronger.
So this brings us all the way back to that first question. Whether you think in vivid pictures or pure, unadulterated logic, the way your mind works isn't a limitation. It's a lens. And by truly understanding that lens, you might just discover your most authentic and your most powerful way to lead.